What's up, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with NIO, Tesla, SPY, and the overall markets. Please know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 30 in total. And the offer ends at the end of March. Anyways, as far as NIO is going, we got this downtrend being established. We had this high up here. We came down, made a lower high, came down. We're continuing to make lower highs and lower lows. Not the best of signs, at least thus far. Now, to add on to this, I just want to mention that as far as NIO is going, we are in a very, very critical place. The price-price ratio has been on a bit of a downtrend. There's a little bit of weakness developing on these charts. Despite that, we're going to be watching to see how things end up going, at least moving forward. Friday is known for being green. Only about 53% of the time, and there's still a lot of fear in the markets as the market is getting ready to make a very, very big move. So please keep that in mind. There's still a lot of fear that's present. Now, Donald Trump and his tariffs are still affecting the way at which these sectors are moving. We saw them alleviate some of the auto tariffs that qualified for the USMCA, very, very important policies and restrictions. So if they followed those regulations, then yes, they would qualify for the deferred tariff exemptions. That would mean that the tariffs would be delayed for about a month. But since then, we're not really getting much of an update. Donald Trump said that he's not actually considering the stock market when it comes to the way in which things are moving. He said that there's going to be a disruption, there's going to be pain for the short term, but he's not worried about the stock market or the economy for the short term. He's saying there's going to be some pain, but it's going to be worth it for the long term because he is promising that things are going to be a lot better as time goes on. We also got some important quotes from the U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. He said that the fact that the stock market goes down half a percentage or a percentage and it goes up a half a percentage or even a percent, that is not the driving force of their outcomes. Our outcomes are driven by the fact that we want factory production in America. We want employments to explode in America. That's what he said during his interview. And he's saying that you're going to see the stock market explode. And if it doesn't do it tomorrow, that's because people just don't understand that they should be betting on Donald Trump. If I were them and if I were you, he's basically saying that they would understand the long-term trade of Donald Trump. So that's what he is saying, the U.S. Commerce Secretary. Donald Trump is not really, he said he's not really watching the stock market. He's not even looking at it. And he's not really as worried for now. He's telling us that there's going to be a short-term disruption, but it's worth it as time goes on. He's telling us to be patient, and he said to bear with these policies. That's what Donald Trump said. Now, going into tomorrow, keep in mind that tomorrow is going to be Friday. We have the unemployment numbers coming an hour before market open, not to mention non-farm payrolls and governmental payrolls. Then we also have Jerome Powell giving a speech around 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this might cause some volatility, so get ready just to be safe. We'll see if Jerome Powell causes the market to bounce or if it dumps. So be very, very patient. That's going to be a big catalyst. So be patient, guys, and we'll see how the numbers end up looking. Whatever Jerome Powell says could also affect the way the market moves. Lastly, excuse me, the fear and greed index is currently at fear. Momentum is at extreme fear. There's not really much change right here as the put to call option ratio is going up. There's still lots of fear and lots of downside that's still in the markets. I also want to add that as far as the market's going, we just got Costco announcing their earnings. The share price is still down, however, because their EPS was below expectations. The revenue is above, but there is a lot of uncertainty about the tariffs. When the CEO was talking about it, he mentioned that, once again, it's difficult to predict the full impact of the tariffs, but there is some fear it's going to be affecting a lot of different goods. There's also lots of headlines saying it's going to be affecting grocery prices for many retailers like Target, Walmart, and the list goes on according to reports. So not the best of news. For NIO, it's possible we dip a little bit more here. The market could dip a little bit more, but then we're going to be watching to see if we can get a bounce later on. For the short term, there's this possible head and shoulders like pattern that could drag us down to these lows again and to the low fours. For SPY, we're looking a bit more bearish, but I'm watching the daily 200 EMA as our major supports. That's going to be around this 568 area. We may dip a little bit more. It's still possible. There's no sign of a true bounce yet, but watch 568. If we could hold 568, there's a possibility we bounce. I still have that possibility in mind. For at least a week, we could see a nice rebound. But if we can't reclaim 568, if it does not hold, we continue to dump, it's going to be a bad sign and we could continue to fall all the way down to the 550s. No, why would we capitulate to this hard without a major catalyst? Because much of the tariffs have been priced in already. It makes more sense for the market to bounce, but we'll see just to be safe. I was thinking it was about ready, but it's not ready yet. It's looking at the technicals. So we'll see. On the QQQ, we look a bit more bearish. We're watching to see if we could try to hold around 485 or so. If we could hold that low, there's going to be an attempt to bounce. If not going to be a good sign. For the Russell 2000, we're looking for 202. If we don't bounce off that, it's going to be a bad sign. If we do, it's going to be better. ES is looking a bit more bearish. We're looking for basically the 5700 area. We want to see us bounce around there. If not, it's not going to be a good sign as well. We need to reclaim at least our 200 EMA around the 5825 area to see some kind of rebound. We've had so many red days in a row, so we will see. We do look a bit more bearish, but it depends on Jerome Powell. NQ is barely at 20,000. If we could hold this, we're looking for a rebound to at least 20,600 plus. If not, this is going to continue to fall, so we'll see how it goes. For Bitcoin, we are seeing an attempt to rebound, at least for now. We are technically on a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. This has been bouncing ever since it hit this area right here. So we'll see how this ends up performing. I want to see if we could get back above 94,000 to bounce. For now, I do anticipate a little bit of a pullback move to 85,000 before it tries to rebound. For Nvda, we're looking bearish, making lower highs right here. This could be dipping a little bit more all the way down towards 107. So be careful with Nvidia. It's still looking a bit more bearish. But as we get very close to this 102 to 105 area, we'll see if we get some kind of rebound off that. So we could dip a little bit more. There's no sign of a bounce yet. But I do want to mention that we are forming a slight bullish divergence. So if we do dip a little bit more, this could be getting us ready for some kind of rebound. On Tesla on the daily chart, we have a gap to fill all the way down to 250. If we can't hold 260, we're looking for 250 as our potential targets to fill that gap down towards 252. If we want to bounce, you need to see Tesla reclaim at least 280. If we can't do that, for now, we remain a lot more bearish. For Aapl, we're looking relatively weak. We came below our key EMAs. We have to reclaim 238s to bounce. Might retest 230 before it tries to rebound, so we'll see. But be patient nonetheless. For coin, we're making lower highs. We're continuing to reject. I want to see this gap over here. I think we already filled this gap. So if the bottom is in for Coinbase, we want to see this basically get back above 235 to really bounce. We're not really ready yet, so I have to give this some time. For Amazon, we're on a bit of a downtrend as well. We were not able to bounce. We're barely near our 200 EMA. So I'm going to be watching what happens around that 200 area, so about 195, to see if buyers defend us at this previous resistance right here. That's going to be the next major level, 200 and 195. Meta's on a downtrend. I would like to see us bounce off this like 625 area. If not, we could be dipping more. Microsoft is looking weak. We need to see if this could reclaim our key resistance, get back above 404 to bounce. Every time we're hitting 400, we're slowing. And then Google needs to get back above our 200 EMA at 175 to bounce. It's actually looking a little bit more resilient, so we will have to see. The VIX is continuing to break out right now. There's no sign of rejection yet. We're actually getting very close to the high right over here before this thing ended up turning. So we'll see. I do want to mention, however, there is a gap left on the VIX. There's a lot of gaps being left. For example, there's one like right here. I think there's another one. There's more below, but we're not going to worry too much about those. So the VIX is on an uptrend. It is bullish for now, but this could turn depending on how things end up going. So with that being said, I think that as far as NIO is going, we are looking a bit more bearish. We're making lower highs and lower lows, so we could be dipping a little bit more, all the way down to about this 4.1 area to the low fours, and we'll see if we bounce around that area or not. But for now, be prepared for a bit more downside. We'll see what the unemployment numbers look like tomorrow and what Jerome Powell says. So please, thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Until then, have a good day and peace out.